Today we're talking about better engagement on Instagram. I'm sharing some tips and a workflow that I think you're gonna love. On this channel I talk a lot about branding, marketing, social media, Instagram, and more. Always practical advice to build your brand. Be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one. Now let's talk all about better engagement on Instagram. Here we go. Now I want to start out this tutorial with a huge shout out to my friend Lucas. I've talked about Lucas multiple times on my YouTube channel, but he's one of the smartest people I know when it comes to Instagram. And specifically today, since I'm talking about engagement, there is no better person to speak to this topic. Have a look at just one or a few posts, for examples, and you'll see, look, almost 300 comments. Look at this. 200 comments. The one that I want to pull up today is this one, which has over 400 comments. This is the kind of engagement that Lucas is getting routinely. And truly, he's an absolute expert at this topic. And I thought this particular carousel was really, really awesome for today's video, to inspire it at least. By the way, I'm going to throw up a picture of Lucas and I together because we recently met up in Toronto and that was a blast. So what he's speaking about here, for accounts that are wanting to grow from scratch, but even if you're not growing from scratch, I still think this is useful. He's calling this a classic Instagram engagement strategy that everyone should be doing. And now I'll quickly go through the steps. The first is identifying bigger users than you in your niche. Then you want to find their supporters. Then you want to make a list of those supporters, and we'll talk about 2 ways you can do that. You want to build a relationship with them, and we'll end up with some best practices, okay? And so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go through the steps that Lucas outlines here as an example, and I will link to this carousel in the description below on his channel so you can follow along if you'd like. The first step that he mentions is finding 3 to 5 big users in your niche. What do we talk about when it comes to identifying those people? Niche, so whatever topic that those people speak on. Content style, okay, how does it look? You see with Lucas, there's a mix of images of him, as well as text-heavy carousel type content, as well as audience. So niche, style, and audience are the 3 that he outlines. This is from my test account. Obviously, I'm following him from my main account, but go ahead and look at what happens here. When I click follow, okay, have a look at who is suggested for me. Marketing Harry, who's a great friend of ours, Social Sam, who's an awesome creator. These are people, Harry, these are all people that are actually used in his example, okay? These are all amazing creators in this niche, in this world, in this space, okay? I'm actually going to go over and pull myself up, not following myself, but go ahead and I'm going to click follow. See what happens. So we're seeing a few similarities. There's Marketing Harry, Full Sail University is where I went to school. Okay, it's showing some other creators, personal branding, graphic design, etc. in this niche. So what you want to do is step 1, find 3 to 5 bigger users in your niche. Go and follow them. If you're already following them, you can unfollow them, follow them back, and see who gets suggested for you. That's a quick way to identify those 3 to 5 big users. Okay, so now that we know who they are, let's go ahead and have a look at, I'm going to click on Gent here. I think that's how we pronounce his name. I'm going to go ahead and look at some of his comments, okay? Because the second step here is to find their biggest supporters. So what you're going to do is you're going to carve out some time to actually go through here and look at the comments that Gent has pinned. So the creator has pinned. Okay, we're seeing thoughtful responses. Some are long, some are short. The key here is to notice that what comments are thoughtful. I guess that's how I describe this, right? What are instances where people are actually putting thought into how they engage with the content? Chances are, if this person, let's say creative.cloud is an example, this person is putting thought into engaging with Gent's content, maybe he might be interested in mine, okay? And I'm not just choosing this because it's a long post, I'm choosing it because it's thoughtful, okay? That's what you kind of want to use as your filter. And again, this is something you want to take time to do. Step number 2, find these creators, the 3 to 5 big users, find their biggest supporters. Then what you want to do, roll into step 3, make a list, let's say, or as Lucas says, 30 to 50 of those supporters. You could, for example, identify a few of them. We identified Creative Cloud here. We could make a list in Google Docs. You could also, as he suggests, add them to close friends, okay? So obviously I'd have to follow him first. Let's do this as an example. Follow, and then to add him to close friends, I would simply click there after he's been followed. Okay, this is my test account, so I'm actually going to unfollow that. But you get the idea, showing you really quickly how to make a list of 30 to 50 supporters. You could do it manually in a Google Doc, or what's smarter is you can do it by adding to close friends. Let's move on to step number 4, okay? This makes sense right from this profile. You want to build relationships with these supporters, these super fans, okay? So what's a good way to do it? Follow them, as I just did, okay? Add them to close friends, as I just showed you. Once you're following them, and I'm going to go ahead and click follow again to show you, you can up here click the little bell and turn notifications on. You can choose if you want posts, stories, IGTV, or live videos. Very simple. You can choose to be notified when they post so that you can hop over to their profile and engage with them, okay? Engagement, community. This is a two-way street. It can't just be about people showing you love. You got to show these people love. Two-way street, okay? So step 4 is building relationships with these users, following them, turning notifications on, and leaving supportive comments. In fact, it's supportive, thoughtful comments that you saw from them that started this, and you should be doing the same thing. Leave those kinds of comments on their content, especially when they posted something that really resonates with you. Okay, I'm going to navigate back to Lucas's profile to specifically the carousel we're looking at again in review. Step 1, 3 to 5 big users in your niche. Step 2, find supporters of those creators in that niche. Then make a list of 30 to 50 of their supporters. Build a relationship with them by following, turning notifications on, and leaving supportive comments. And I think it makes sense to end on this. Don't forget, leave comments, or I should say, look for comments from people that are actually being thoughtful and not just spamming. Okay, they don't always have to be the longest comment. Sometimes short comments are good as well. And Lucas, in this example, even gives you a template to follow if you want to go ahead and DM that person and introduce yourself. Okay, in the caption of this post, which I just love, he emphasizes the importance of community. Community is key on Instagram. It isn't just going to grow itself. Again, I chose Lucas as the inspiration for this video because there is no one that I know that's better at creating engagement on Instagram. And I hope you found this little tutorial and inspiration from his carousel to make this video. I hope you found it helpful. There you go. Hopefully you got some ideas to engage better on Instagram in a way that's going to lead to the kind of results that you want on your account. If you're new to my channel, I'm Phil. I'd love to have you around here a little more often. Give a thumbs up to this video if you liked it, and consider subscribing for more videos just like this one. You can also hit that bell to be notified when I post next. I've got a bunch of freebies, ebooks, checklists, and more. I'm going to link to those below. They will help you build your brand. Next, I'm going to share a few videos that I think you'll find helpful as you build your brand. Those are coming up next. I'm Phil. Thanks for watching.